Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. Going to have a look at the weather next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. Day 10, day to the 13th of August, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that. We get set GFS and ECM ensemble because they run around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFSB2 at the end of the video. The next 4 weeks will get us to the end of August. I shall get off a few in a moment to say that first video today was our 6 AM upload, so please check that out if you'd like to do that. Please like, subscribe on videos, and thank you so much. We hope you're having a lovely Wednesday. Right then, so let's have a quick look at the sensing temperature then. The ECT for July, we confirm yesterday came out at 18.2. There we see it, that was over 2 degrees. Above average, absolutely remarkable. So warmest July and the warmest month since July 2018. And August has started off on a very hot note as well. Provisional up to the 2nd, just 2 days in. We're at 19.8, which is like 4 degrees above average. So there we go, you know, a hot start to August to say the least. Of course, we're only 2 days in, so it remains to be seen where this goes. But already, even just after 2 days, you get the idea. This is likely to be yet another warmer than average month. All months this year have been above average. January and June a little bit less so, and actually set against more modern averages like 81 to 2010 or 91 to 20, probably January and June were a little bit below average. But other than that, every month has been very warm. February, 3 degrees above average. March, 2 degrees above average. April, 1 degree above average. May, around 2 degrees above average. July, over 2 degrees above average. And there we have August, 4 degrees above average. That is, of course, just for 2 days in. We won't see where this is going to go, but I suspect it's going to be another very warm month, and it just remains to be seen. Will we have like 2 18 Celsius CT months back to back? It's a very long time since that happened, so that will be something else to watch out for. We shall see, and time will tell. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. Look, Great Malvern today. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Great Malvern. We're above average at the moment. We have a little bit of a cool down though over the next couple of days actually. So it's going to be a little bit fresher. And a little bit, a little bit cooler over the second half of this week. But into the weekend and next week, you can see the upper air temperatures are really taking off. We've been talking about this a lot in the videos lately. The second week of August is shaping up to be pretty hot, I think. We may even be talking about Heatwave for the second week of August. It just remains to be seen how hot it's going to get. The thick green line, which is the operational GFS run, that does become very hot and reaches 20 degrees at one point. That's 850 HPA. And the thing with this is that it looks like it's sustained over several days next week as well. So it's not just like a one day heat spike and then the temperature drops. Actually, it looks very warm to hot for several days. The temperature does start to come down into the second half of August. So we begin to reduce the temperature a bit then, but next week I think is one to watch. See how hot it gets. Precipitation-wise, it looks totally dry for the next 10 days or so. Barely any measurable rain at all, but a little bit more unsettled into the second half of the month. My good friend Luke Richardson's birthday today, so happy birthday, Luke R. And Luke suggested that we look at Great Malvern, so I'm more happy to do that. And happy birthday, my friend. If you'd like to have your local town city featured within this part of the video, then let us know through the comments or email us to GavsWeatherVids@gmail.com, and we are very, very happy to do that. Happy birthday, Luke. Right, temperature anomalies from the 30th of August are coming out above average. Going to be another very, very warm to hot week. Rinse, repeat, really, or should I say, rinse, repeat, because I say this every single day. There's never any deviation at the moment with these anomaly charts. Precipitation anomalies again on 30th of August are very dry as well. So another dry and warm or hot week to come. No change. Rinse, repeat, as I said. Let's move on that from earthnorthschool.net. Actually, I've got a bit of a change, though, going on today, as we're pulling in some slightly fresher air from off the North Atlantic. So temperatures are reducing a bit today, but probably, you know, it's only going to be like a couple of days of cooler fresh weather, and I think over the weekend we will find the high pressure building back in and starting to lift up the temperature. We see this on the generic chart, so this is how you can make your run, is looking for midnight on Saturday, high pressure regime from off the Atlantic, bring lots of dry warm weather with it, and then that high pressure sits over the top of the country as we go through the weekend. So as that high pressure becomes centrally located, over country temperatures will lift up, probably not overly humid, so I think they'll be, you know, probably relatively pleasant at night, but by day, we'll see the temperature lifting up into the upper 20s Celsius. I think over the weekend, by the open of next week, probably getting the temperature into the low 30s, I would have thought, as the air comes in from off the Atlantic. Looking dry and hot, really, with this ridge of high pressure right way through to the middle of next week. Just this low, perhaps bringing some cloud rain into far northwest of Scotland, but otherwise, big ridge of high pressure keeps it dry and sunny and hot through the early to middle part of next week. Icon looks like that, getting high pressure ridge in from off the Atlantic over the weekend. That brings loads of dry weather with it. The dry spell carries on into the early part of next week as well. This ridge looks like it's going nowhere fast, so it remains dry, sunny and hot under that area of high pressure right the way up to midday on Wednesday, as far as we get to with Icon, keeping that big ridge of high pressure going. So sorry everyone. Right, GFS, it wouldn't be a Gav video without a cough, would it? GFS midnight run, again building up that area of high pressure over the weekend. This is the high, you know, from the Azores, but giving us so much warm and hot weather and dry weather this summer. It's still well and truly in business through next week as well. Big area of high pressure from the Azores over to northern parts of Europe as well. That high pressure still sitting over top of the country through to the second half of next week. Up towards day 10, we start to bring up this rather fungy looking area of low pressure from the south. Upper air temperature looking very hot as we approach day 10. And then this low begins to trundle northwards, bringing perhaps a threat of some thunderstorms. Who knows? We haven't had much in way of thunder this summer so far. It's might be a very warm summer. There's not been much thunder around, so that's the reason that we're virtually in a drought across much of southern, southeastern England. Maybe this will bring some much needed relief. I'll have to wait and see. Upper air temperatures are still looking very hot around and beyond day 10. And then the Atlantic breaks through, bringing cooler weather in. Again, we return back to those sort of westerly winds, but still with an influence from high pressure from the Azores sitting just to our west and southwest. So fundamentally staying relatively dry, the pattern not changing right way up to the end of the GFS midnight run, which gets us to the 19th of August. The 6th then looks like that. Again, we've got high pressure building in off the Atlantic on Saturday over weekend. Lots of dry, very warm weather into next week. High pressure still dominates, pulls wind in from the east southeast, so likely to turn hot through the early part of next week. Then low pressure pushing for a little bit different to a midnight run. A trough moves through the middle part of next week. It looks relatively weak, that trough, but could bring some showery conditions into northern areas. Just generally a rather more showery type look to the weather there with GFS 6Z around day 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. However, look what happens after that into the middle part of August. We start to draw up some very hot air from the south once again. Up comes to plus 20 Celsius isotherm. We have another heat spike on our hands with the GFS 6Z. It is combined with a fungy area of low pressure, so maybe that delivers some storm, but main thing is again plus 20 Celsius isotherm surging north, plus 25 Celsius isotherm coming back into northern parts of France on the south coast once again. So back into the upper 30 Celsius the temperature goes. You know, if this comes off, it is a long way off, has to be said. But the GFS is certainly playing around, let's put it like that. The GFS is playing around at the moment with the possibility of some very, very hot weather. Again, another heat spike around the middle part of August. Beyond that, we still draw up that very hot air through to Wednesday, 17th of August. It's only at the very end of the GFS 6 there, but it starts to push cooler, fresher air in from off the Atlantic, probably courtesy of the thundery breakdown. Notice this high pressure building up over Scandinavia there, so that's slightly different pattern to what we've had so far this summer. Some very hot looking charts again, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, then please can you like, share, subscribe, and we thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Drop a comment and let us know what you thought this and all of our videos, and don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much. We need to put on around 9 subscribers only now. Get to 14.2k. Thank you so much. Right, the GEM looks like that again. High pressure reaches in off the Atlantic Ocean on Saturday. And then through the weekend, we find that big area of high pressure building through the country and into the early part of next week. Before low pressure comes in from off the Atlantic around the middle of the week, turns the weather a bit cooler and more showery into the north. And then up to day 10 with the GM, rather showery looking scenario for the north. Mainly dry down in the south and potentially very warm down there as well. And then the ECMWF shows high pressure. So the GM's a little bit cooler and more changeable compared to the other model output, I think. And then the ECM showing high pressure building up from the southwest over weekend into next week. That high pressure keeps the weather dry, sunny, probably quite hot by the early part of next week before, again, this trough drops into the north through the middle part of the week, brings some cooler, more showery conditions there. And that's how we're going to get to day 10 with the ECM. Rather showery look for the north, probably mostly dry down in the south and some rather cooler temperatures as well. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from TomatoShow.com. You'll notice very, very little rain in the south. What rain there is mostly up in the north. Until we get to the very end of the ECM run, and then perhaps a little bit of showery weather starts appearing down in the south, but not much. It looks like the next 10 days are completely dry for much of the Midlands, central, southern, southeastern England once again. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensemble today for day 10, which gets us to the 13th of August. 16 members of the ECM ensemble take high pressure out to west and have low pressure to our north. The wind goes into the northwest, so rather cooler and more showery with that. 11 with high pressure just to the south and some low pressure to the north. Winds are rather flat and westerly. With that, so that brings some dry weather into the south. The northern regions will be a little bit more showery. 9 look hot with high pressure Scandinavia, and they pull wind into that easterly direction, so dry and hot. With that, another 9 down here with high pressure more or less over, like to the east of the country. Again, that looks hot. Winds coming in from south and southeast, and then 6 with a trough of low pressure right over top of the country, and that is not only cooler and more unsettled, that's actually quite autumnal. With that option, but only 6 going for that. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This one gets us to the 18th of August. 18 members of the ECM ensembles with some higher pressure out to the northwest and lower pressure to the northeast. A bit messy, but probably a bit showery with that, I would have thought. 12, probably, again, a bit of a trough around the country. That could be a bit showery. Another 12 with low pressure, trough of low pressure right over top of the country. And then 9 down here with high pressure, more or less over the country. We may see a signal there. Things stay cooler and more showery for a while into the second half of August. CFSB2, finally, these are 500 millibar high tonight, breaking down into week periods. The first week period takes us from the 3rd to the 9th of August. Coming week, of course, is mostly dominated by high pressure, so there's going to be lots of dry and warm weather around. Going through to week 2, which will be the 10th to the 16th of August, the high pressure is over Scandinavia then, and the winds are in from a very warm or hot easterly direction, so that does potentially look like a very warm or hot week. Bit of a change for week 3, which is the 17th to 23rd of August, maybe a trough of low pressure appearing around the country, possibly starting to go a bit thundery there. I think that trough low is coming up from the south, actually, so that might be a hint of a thundery breakdown. And then into week 4, which is the 24th to the 30th of August, high pressure then pulls out to our west and northwest, probably some sort of trough through here and winds in from like a little bit of a northerly direction. So that's certainly cooler and maybe a little bit more showery. So the second half of August might see the weather revert to something a bit cooler and a little bit more showery. But it looks like the second week of the month, that's the middle part of the month, going to deliver some quite hot weather, I think. Right, if you enjoyed the video, then please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Drop a comment and let us know what you think. This is all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. It's amazing, it's incredible. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Right, so just 9 more subscribers will get us to 14.2k, by the way. So please give us thank you so much. Right, just saying, coming up tomorrow then. So I have a 6 a.m. upload, the European Outlook, detailed look at the weather next week, 10 days for Europe, and a 10 to 14 day or 2, all the great features. So keep checking back for more. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and for this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.